Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole meeting for Monday, November 10, 2025. City Manager, will you be calling the roll this evening? Yes. Thank you.
Alderman Nardini.
Here.
Alderman Verimas. Here. Alderman Jensen.
Here.
Alderman Virgil.
Here.
Alderman Hill.
Present.
Alderman Nudera.
Here.
Alderman Toledo.
Here.
Alderman Brennan.
Here.
Alderman Shanko.
Here.
Alderman Bellinger.
Here.
Alderman Bastido is absent. Alderman Bram.
Here.
Alderman Irby.
Here.
Alderman Baker.
Here.
13 present, 1 absent.
13 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum. City Manager, do you know if anyone signed up for public comment for this committee meeting?
No one has.
All right, and I see there's no one that is a member of the public. There's no one who is a member of the public in the audience, so we will skip over public comment to business before the committee, which is the review of the fiscal year 2025 budget. And on our agenda, we have circle back items, but City Manager, do you want to start off with some comments before we get to that?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So we have a revised memo that was put on board docs last week. And if you turn to page, they are dated, so you can tell. You turn to I think page 5 with number 14. That's where the circle backs start from our last meeting. We have provided information for all of them, and we're happy to answer any questions that council members may have.
All right, we additionally have, I think it's 3, 10, 11, 12. There were Alderman Bram's. Alderman Bram, have you looked at yours yet, or you want to do it in December?
December would be awesome.
Yeah.
No, we can talk about it later today.
All right.
We can talk about it today.
Today, all right. Well, so we can either, why don't we start with the newer ones, and we'll go back and pick up the 3 where we left off. So we're on number 14?
Yes, number 14.
All right, so number 14, and this is, everyone has the November 10, correct? Circle back list, because it's been updated twice. All right. Alderman Hill asked to have provided historical information on business grants awarded, highlighting any business that closed subsequent to receiving grant funds. And Alderman Hill, do you have additional questions beyond the information provided?
No, I don't think I have any additional questions on this. Thank you.
Okay. Number 15 for the this is Alderman Hill as well. For the consultants, what amount is funded by TIF versus capital or general fund? See attachment G. Alderman Hill.
Yeah, so just to make sure I'm reading this right, so administration and planning and zoning and museum and fire would all come out of general, and the rest would be TIF, but not any from capital in this. Okay. So for 2026, on one consultant, we have 56% budgeted out of the general fund and the remainder from the TIFs. And then on the other consultant, we have 74% from the general fund and the remainder on the TIFs. Okay,
That's correct.
Just a point of clarification. I want to understand that. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Alderman Bram.
Thank you. I guess this is a comment in regards to all the circle back items. In some of these questions, which are very good ones, I'm not sure if a motion should be made due to the fact that there's ongoing discussions about a possible property tax levy, other budget cuts elsewhere. I'm just looking for, this is an item that I would consider cutting. This is my statement on this item. So this is an item that I would think that I would maybe propose to make a motion. I am not at this time, but to make a motion to either cut or reduce. But I don't know if that's necessary because I'm not sure if where we're going to be by the end of our budget discussions in regards to the property tax levy discussion, potential property tax levy discussion, as well as further reductions. Could we speak to where we stand today in regards to that before we go too deep? into
All
the
right.
circle backs.
Alderman Toledo, would you be prepared to, this is two-part, but I'd like Alderman Toledo to report on the proceedings of the Finance Committee, which we just concluded.
Sure. So at our Finance Committee meeting this evening, we had our property tax levy discussion, and as part of that, obviously, we also were talking about the list of potential other cuts that could be made. So we went through a whole discussion, we oriented to a number of the discussions that have been had recently by various aldermen and staff. We talked about some of the proposals for property taxes, and we've also talked about the $3 million in cuts that have already been made in the budget that we have in front of us, as well as the additional $600,000 in deferrals that have been discussed to be deferred from the 2026 budget. And then the aldermen, the four of us discussed an additional list of potential cuts that was brought to us, a list of additional deeper cuts from staff, but that was kind of categorized by one of our aldermen. And what we decided was that there were some folks that had some interest in that, some folks that didn't have interest in that and wanted to wait until the full review of the general fund at the beginning of the year. But what we compromised on was that a number of the items that were categorized by one of our committee members as something that might be supported by that committee member, we would have staff bring information back to our committee to discuss those potential additional cuts, provide our committee with information about them and the impact that they would have to the operations of the city. And then we would have that discussion and make a recommendation as a committee whether or not to recommend those additional cuts to the full council for the budget. Due to the nature of the timeline that we're operating under for both approving the tax levy as well as the budget per law and the notices that need to be given to the public for that, our Finance Committee has agreed, which was very nice of everybody, to meet on Friday afternoon. We will have an additional Finance Committee meeting, a public meeting. Everyone will be invited to. It will be posted with all the appropriate 48 hours advance warning with an agenda. And we will specifically be meeting to review the information from staff about those possible additional cuts and discussing as a committee whether or not we would want to recommend those to the rest of the council to be included into the budget that would then be approved on Monday, November
17th.
17th?
17th.
Thank you. I had a couple of different dates in my head, so I wasn't sure of that. So the idea, in summary, is Finance Committee will be reviewing the possibility of additional cuts above and beyond the 3.6 that has been proposed in the 2026 budget on Friday. The budget as presented will be posted to board docs on Thursday for the Monday meeting. If additional cuts are agreed on by a majority of the Finance Committee, we will make a verbal recommendation during Monday's council meeting, Committee of the Whole meeting.
And did you talk about the levy already?
Council meeting.
Council meeting.
Council meeting.
Thank you.
Did I miss it? Did you talk about the levy?
Only in tangentially that it was the agenda item where we made these additional discussions.
Well, I mean, the levy was
Was, yeah,
recommended.
okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to discuss that, but yeah.
well,
understand
here's
it,
the
but I don't
picture,
agree.
yeah.
So we did, the committee did make a recommendation, and we will be issuing a report for the Monday council meeting to recommend the tax levy increase of $1 million in the general fund and the passing through the pension contribution. So you will have the opportunity to read that report when it's posted on Thursday.
All right, Alderman Graham?
So, thank you, Chair Toledo, for the summary. This is definitely unusual. At this point in the council meeting discussing budget, we typically make motions to possibly adjust the proposed budget before us. What it sounds like in this very unusual circumstance, at least in my years, that there's additional conversations going on in finance, and that may have repercussions on what the proposed budget would look like this upcoming Monday, if I summarize that accurately. If that is accurate, then my understanding of this discussion is just if we need additional data for the circle back items, not to make a motion to make adjustments to the budget.
You could, so two things. I think it not only would be verbally, but if there is some sort of agreement, I think we would post it and send it out so that people aren't coming in cold on Monday. So if whatever the decision of the committee is, you won't have to wait till Monday to find out. Second, I think Monday I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of, it's not like there'd be 20 areas of cuts, so if you wanted to contemplate it and make a motion, if you're contemplating making one, Monday would be okay, next Monday would be okay.
Okay, so I guess my stance of what I said, that today would be potentially, unless someone wants to make a motion, but potentially more of, is what was supplied in regards to the circle back items, enough information, are there additional questions? Could make a motion today on it, or could wait till Monday to make a motion to change the budget.
I'd say, yeah. I certainly want to get through all the circle backs,
Okay,
so everyone has the information they asked for.
understood.
All right.
Thank you.
Then we'll move on to, so I think 15 is a circle back for you, Alderman Bram, would you say? So we'll leave that open. Number 16, Alderman Brennan asked for a citywide analysis of postage in terms of the total amount spent and what was spent, and that's on the back page, attachment H. Do you have additional questions or require additional?
I do have a couple of
Alderman
questions,
Brennan.
Mayor. Thank you. So thank you for the information, exactly what I was looking for. I'm just trying to get my head around standard mail allocation versus specific mailings. So standard mail allocation, this is just departmental mailings?
So this is the postage machine at City Hall, and so there is just one machine that is used for all of the mail for the city. And so there is an allocation done by department. This is, you know, incidental mailings that every department, I mean, it's our AP checks, it's our, you know, any sort of open enrollment documents. I mean, there's a very, you know, any sort of engineering mailing that engineering might have about street closures or projects. So it's kind of all encompassing of any, I don't mean to use the word mailing, but lack of a better word, any mailing that we would send out that isn't a
Bulk meter?
No, a bulk meter or like a special project where we send it out. So like utility bills, right, that is printed by an outside vendor, there's a known amount for postage, whereas we don't track for the main postage meter, you know, how much did Public Works spend for mailing for all of their summer notices for construction projects. We just don't track that information. So the specific mailings are where there is a way that we track what the cost is or the anticipated cost of those specific mailings versus just things that go out on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I do understand that and appreciate the detail. I guess in general, you know, I'm satisfied with the numbers here, but it's just a whole lot of money. And you know, the mail I get at home drives me crazy. I mean, I'd say 80% doesn't need to come to my house. I mean, and so I believe that we're being prudent in this area, and we're sending things out that we need to send out, but it's a lot of money. And so, anyways, it's just sort of a hot button for me because my mailbox is just full of stuff that makes no sense. So anyways, that's not what I'm hearing here, so thank you for the information.
All right, thank you, Alderman Brennan. Item 17, Human Services. Alderman Hill, circle back on the budget for PACE, Senior Ride Services. I think it kind of ties into our senior discussion, and we do have a state transit budget now, so we'll see where that goes. 18, what is the impact of the reduction in senior programs? Alderman Veremis. And actually, I think these would be the ones if this was in the first tranche of cuts. And so I will tell the alderman that in the discussions we had, that I've had with individual aldermen, that Chair Toludo has had, that staff has had, there's a pretty, if not unanimous, I would say a clear consensus that we will be restoring the first tranche of the senior cuts, so we won't be getting to the second cut. So this explains what they would have been, but unless I'm surprised, I think that there will be a motion next time. Go ahead, Alderman. You're a city manager? Yeah.
Yep, still. I think it's important to add to the discussion that in Finance Committee tonight, there was a discussion, an agenda item over our general liability insurance, and the proposal that came in is less than what we had budgeted, and that difference can pay for restoring the cuts that we had to the senior budget is what the consensus was tonight at Finance Committee.
You good, Alderman Veremis?
Thank you.
All right. Item 19, provide a list of the parking lots rented. This was Alderman Virgil.
Yeah, I have a few questions. For these lots, other than the lot along, or the spaces along the railroad tracks, does the city get any revenue from drivers parking in any of these other lots?
Shopper parking?
Correct, we do not.
Yeah, that's all shopper parking, free shopper
I
parking.
guess
Okay.
the only one park where the library.
But as the finance director just reminded me, we do receive a little bit of rent for the 180 Park parking spaces that the library pays for employee parking.
Okay. All right. For the first one on the list, which is the lot adjacent to Egg Harbor and Walgreens, why do we rent that one? Why do we pay to rent that lot?
It was necessary at the time for parking, for surface parking. We didn't necessarily have all the parking decks that we did at the time, and when that city center area was developed, I don't know that the property owner was interested in selling it to us, and we definitely needed some parking at the time, and so we've rented that since then, and certainly it proves to be full consistently.
I know it's well utilized, but would the parking lot continue to be there if we weren't paying rent for it?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. The lot at 148 East 3rd, I think is that the lot we use for employee parking?
That's correct.
City employee parking? Okay. How well utilized does that lot get with?
Very well utilized on a daily basis, both parking lots.
Okay.
So there's two of them, and we have an agreement with Emmanuel Lutheran, and they use it mostly on the weekends, sometimes during school, if they have a parent event as well. But it's very heavily utilized by employees.
Okay. There's also another lot, I think, which is maybe city property at 119 East Schiller. It's between the Anchor Senior facility and the Jewel lot? That's a city lot, right?
That's a commuter lot,
It's a
Yeah.
commuter lot.
yes.
Who owns that?
We do,
We do, okay.
yeah, and so that's, I guess, it is not on here, so thank you for bringing that up, but that is a commuter lot, and that is pay to park.
It is pay to park. Now, I noticed, seen that lot many times, and it doesn't get very well utilized. I assume it's farther away from the train station than, other options for parking. Are we paying, I assume if it's city, we don't pay taxes for that? No, okay.
Correct.
Could that lot be utilized in other ways? Like, for example, if we're renting the lot at Emmanuel Lutheran for employee parking, could that be shifted? It's a block away.
We occasionally use that lot for overflow from employees and a good example is when Emmanuel Lutheran has an event during the week and they notify us that they will need the parking, that is employee overflow, and mostly the city-owned vehicles.
Okay. Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. We're going to swing back to number 3, I believe. Alderman Bram, please list the resident stormwater management program as a circle back.
No further questions.
All right. The next I see is circle back 9. Alderman Brand requests circle back on building maintenance pending a site visit to the museum.
No further questions. I did visit the museum and some of the other buildings as well as the storage facility, so I have no additional questions on that.
Item 11, Alderman Brand, what items are included in professional services with 2 lines, with a line range there, and why is there an increase from the estimated actual amount for 2025?
No additional questions.
All right. And the last one I see is item 12, also Alderman Bram, information on the stormwater project for Crestview Park.
Yeah, there was additional, I guess, offline discussions on this. A lot of it is contained in the response here. I do have further questions, but no need to discuss them here, so we can take them offline.
Okay. So I think that covers all of our circle backs. So, as we City Manager, do you have anything that you want to add on behalf of staff?
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so as we chart it out, as Alderman Chair Toludo mentioned, there'll be a Budget Committee meeting on Friday. Additional information will be sent out after the meeting. On Monday, November 17th, we will have budget discussion generally. If there are motions for adjustments, whether they stem from finance or if Alderman Bram feels there's one that will come from him, that would be the time to do it. And I will save my comments for how I think those might be done and what we're doing at that time. And then we will do it. And the levy will be on which agenda?
So just kind of housekeeping, on the 17th, we will have the public hearing for the budget. That's already been scheduled. And then on December 1st, right?
Check. I think it's first.
December
first
1st
Monday,
is
yeah.
the public hearing for the levy, and that's the first time that the council can consider the levy is on the 1st, although the report from Finance Committee would most likely be out before that.
All right, so we're going through the budget on the 17th. The votes to adopt the levy and the budget will both be on December 1st then.
I think we're anticipating a consideration of the budget on the 17th as well.
To pass the budget?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
At the city
I thought
council
that's
meeting.
all right.
Yeah.
So we'll pass the budget on the 17th, a levy on the 1st.
Correct.
All right.
The public hearing will be on the 1st, adoption is on the 15th.
All right.
So the first reading was on the 1st for the property tax levy. The second reading and adoption is on the 15th.
Is that what I said correct, or do we?
One minor tweak.
Go
So
ahead
the
and tweak
public, the public hearing, the second reading and adoption is on the 15th. The public hearing will be on the 1st.
So
In December.
the 15th of December, we're going to
Yes.
pass the levy.
Sorry, I stand corrected, yes.
Okay. Clear as mud. All right, is there any, Alderman Brennan?
Just one question. So the Finance Committee's meeting on Friday at what time?
1:30.
1:30. Thank you.
Everyone's welcome.
There'll be a light lunch, or, no, I guess there won't this time. Got cut out of the budget. All right, I think we're done for today. Thank you again for your time, and we'll be having some rigorous discussion, I imagine, next meeting. Motion to adjourn, please. Alderman Veremis with a motion, Alderman Jensen with a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. We are adjourned.